I like turducken.
See, that got recorded. I'm gonna have to just start up the whole show with that.
Comic Timing
is a proud member of the Comics Podcast Network. Bitch.
Print it. Hey there, folks. My name is Ian Levinstein, and welcome to episode 123 of Comic Timing. And, I'm recording this one long after the episode was recorded, this intro here, because, for once, it's an intentionally held back episode as opposed to unintentional. We recorded this one right after the news broke that DC was going to be restarting their universe, or rebooting, or not a reboot, or whatever Dan DiDio wants to call it these days. I don't freaking care anymore. 52 new titles, all starting with issue number 1. At this point, about 35 of them had been announced, and Brent was in San Diego at the time, and he was bored out of his mind, and he convinced me to record an episode. So, alright, we got stuff to talk about. This is going to be relevant. Let's go ahead and do it. But then after we sat and we recorded the episode, I thought to myself, we just did an episode on 35 out of the 52 that were confirmed. Wouldn't it be awesome if we just waited until everything was confirmed and released this? So now you get to see what we got right and what we got wrong based on the initial information on these titles. So this is Brent Cassina and Umar from The Fixers and Ange from Two People Talking. How about that? That's even better. Chris from formerly of Amazing Spider-Cast, and I always forget the name of his new show, so let me give him the proper plug here, because it's only right of me to do so. Let's see. Hopefully he posts about it very often on his Facebook page. This is all getting kept in here. Dying in the Gutters is the name of the podcast that he does with Desmond Reddick. And you can find that on earth-chew.net. Again, formerly of Amazing Spider-Cast, Mr. Chris Johnson. And obviously, Brent Cassina via cell phone, because he couldn't get his Skype working in his hotel room in San Diego. And me. Yeah, I'm on it too. What a shock. And yeah, we talk about the 52 books, but not all 52 of them, because we didn't know at the time. And we actually did a pretty good job. I mean, after listening through it and editing the episode, we did a pretty close to accurate job on all of the news that was reported at the time. And I hope you guys enjoy our very, very long episode here. Well, not that long. It's an hour and 55 minutes. But we talk about all 52 titles, or at least as many of them as we can possibly talk about on the show, because not all of them were announced at the time. Like, for instance, Stormwatch hadn't been announced yet, so we don't talk about Stormwatch, but we do mention in passing that, hey, they might do a Grifter book. Wow, that would be interesting. And now we know for sure that's happening. I'm rambling already. You'll also notice in the episode that Umar had some audio issues. Just call us 11 o'clock comics this week, and call Umar David Price, and then it's all washed away. You can pretty much understand what he's saying, but it's kind of garbly because his internet was going in and out all night. But we dealt with it, and we recorded the episode, and just listen to it. I'm not going to put any more excuses in for us here, all right? We've got, obviously, the usual DCBS sponsorship for this episode, dcbservice.com, discount comic book service. And this month, DCBS is pulling all the stops out for anybody who wants to purchase all 52 titles from DC. 50% off of the entire batch. That's right. If you actually want to purchase all 52 titles that are going to be released in September, regular price of $159.48 is 50% off for $79.74. That's a damn good deal right there. So 52 comic books for $79.74. If you don't buy Marvel, this could just be your picks. That's it. This is your pick of the litter right here for the month of September. I was somewhat considering going for it myself, but there aren't 52 titles that I want to read out of this batch here. There's maybe 25 or 30 or something, so I'm probably just going to pick and choose. But for those of you who are looking to pick and choose, our pick of the month and all of the 52 titles individually are 42% off. So you're saving more if you get them all, but you're still going to get them for 42% off otherwise. And Justice League International is our specific pick out of these 52. Written by Dan Jurgens with art by Aaron Lopresti and Matt Ryan, cover by Aaron Lopresti. And it's the return of Justice League International after a long hiatus. Somewhat of the team from Justice League Generation Lost, but some new faces as well. Like, for instance, Batman is on this team. And he was on the original JOI, so it's nice to see him back. Booster Gold with a sprucey new costume is on this here. And you've got August General and Iron. And Fire, Ice, Vixen, and Rocket Red. And, of course, Guy Gardner, because what would JOI be without Guy, huh? That's what I'm talking about there. $1.73 off of the regular price of $2.99, so 42% off there. The Marvel pick, Ultimate Comics Spider-Man #1. The relaunch of Spider-Man with a brand new Spider-Man in the suit. Love the new suit, too. The nice dark blue with the red. It's very covert ops, actually, for Spider-Man. So, hey, who's under that mask? Huh? We'll find out soon enough. Written by Brian Michael Bendis with pencils by Sarah Pacelli. Covers by Carrie Andrews. This is 50% off for $1.99, regular price of $3.99. And over in the world of Image is our indie pick, 27 Second Set #1. Now, I've talked to Charles Soule, the man behind 27, multiple times, both for his strongman work and for 27. And I definitely want to support him here, so that's why I'm picking it here. Let's see how easy it is to pick up a second run of miniseries here, because 27 is collected for those of you who want to read the first miniseries. But if you just want to pick up the second miniseries, Charles Soule promises that you will be able to do that with 27 Second Set. So let's give it a shot. 50% off, $3.99 for $1.99 here. And of course, the promo code CT8 for any of you people who are not using DCBS yet. And why aren't you? Really, you're saving so much money with Discount Comic Book Service. So you should just go ahead and do that for all of your comic book needs. Discount Comic Book Service, DCBService.com. And we thank them so much for their support of Comic Timing over the years. You guys rock. And without further ado, here is the episode, which I call a special episode because originally it wasn't going to be numbered, but haha, joke's on you. It's episode 123, and it begins now. Hey there, folks. My name's Ian Levitstein, and welcome to a special edition of Comic Timing. And it is an actual special edition because plenty of stuff has been going on all week in the world of DC Comics, and we figured now is a good time to cover it straight up here on the podcast. Joined via phone, Mr. Brent Cassina. What's going on, Brent?
What's up?
Hey, it's only 7:42 where you is.
Dan Skippy.
West Coast.
Yeah. Also joining us, the other person on the West Coast, Ange from what podcast is it now? Is it still Two People Talking, or did you change the name of it?
It is Two People Talking still. I'm on a couple of them for actually Invisible Jetcast, of course,
awesome.
Which is about Wonder Woman, and I appear on the Comic Roundtable, which is on the Cameron Rice Show feed, and the Movie Roundtable as well, which is also on the Cameron Rice Show feed.
Fantastic! So you're everywhere.
Yeah.
You are everywhere you need to be.
Exactly.
Also joining us, he's back in the world of podcasting, Mr. Chris Johnson, formerly of Amazing Spider-Cast, now of a new podcast, which you will tell us all about right now.
It's called Dying in the Gutters, and it's a podcast I'm doing with the host of Dread Media, Desmond Reddick. And basically what we're doing is we're going through the entire run of the Tomb of Dracula comic from Marvel about 70 issues of that, and also the various, giant size issues and crossovers and things like that. And we're doing about 5 issues at a time, about every other week. And it's been a blast doing podcasts again. I've really missed hanging with my friends and chatting comics.
Well, when I first heard it was Dying in the Gutters at first, I'm like, oh, so an entire podcast devoted to that CSI Dying in the Gutters miniseries about Rich Johnston being killed.
Oh, gosh.
And without even realizing it, we've got a fourth person joining us as soon as he picks up his phone here, as Mr. Umar from the Fixer's Hideout happened to send me a message at just the right time. Umar, what's going on?
What's up?
What's up? My Brooklyn brother, ready to talk some DC.
Oh, yes. And I would like to first express my sorrow to all those podcasters that committed suicide last week. I've never heard such morose bunch of people since they heard Ratner was helming a comic book movie.
Hey. All right. Now, let me start it off with this. I am not entirely morose about this, okay? I'm somewhat optimistic, but I'm also a little trepidatious. Because there's some things that look very interesting. There's other things that remind me way too much of the 90s with extra pockets and guns.
And baseball caps.
And baseball caps. So right now, I'm about 50-50, maybe 60-40.
Wait. You're a Yankees fan, and you have a hatred for baseball caps? What?
I have a hatred for red baseball caps, specifically, and Arsenal's wearing one.
Oh, red baseball caps.
Yeah.
Do they have to have a specific logo for you to hate them?
No, I just hate red baseball caps. They just make me angry.
Oh.
Yeah, right up. Brent, Mr. Cell Phone, you've been DC pretty much your entire comic book reading life. Even though you do read Marvel, you are mostly DC. So is this a slap in the face for you, or is this, hey, everything could be better now?
You know what? I'm not going to be and I'm going to call those motherfuckers out. I'm not going to be a Fairweather fan and be like, you know what? I'm done with DC. Blah blah blah. Whatever. I mean, to me, it's exciting because it's something new for everything. Based on the solicitations and stuff, I'm glad to see that some titles are just continuing. When they were good, they're continuing their good streak, and I'm glad to see that other titles are getting, fresh faces, a brand new start. And frankly, a lot of it has me interested. And I think the upside with the day-and-date digital is that I don't have to go out and buy all of these right away. I can if I want to, but if I'm, jonesing in the office like a couple months from now and I'm just really bored at lunch and I'm like, you know what, I want to read a comic, I can get on my Android phone, open up the Comixology app, and buy a DC comic. Now, Marvel is really silly because they don't allow you access to Marvel Comics on the Android Comixology app. It's only through Apple for some reason, but that's their problem. So they're not getting any of my money when I'm bored. It's only going to be DC and whatever else is on Comixology.
That's going to change eventually.
I think there's an upside to it. There's an upside to it to me.
Oh, dude, no, there definitely is. Especially with the digital side of it, because I like the fact that, what is it, after a week they go down in price by $1, or is it a month? I forget.
It's a month.
4 weeks.
And we can get into that later. I've got some thoughts on that later, but finish your intros.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, Chris Johnson, another DC head that does have some Marvel background, being the whole Spidey thing, but you gave that up cold turkey. DC for you. I mean, you're another 90s kid like me. So what do you think right now? I mean, where's your head?
Well, actually, I've between the big two, I've actually aligned with Marvel more than DC in my comics reading. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of interesting for me, kind of looking at this DC reboot, because I'd probably have more of an emotional reaction to it if it was Marvel and they were going to do this whole relaunch everything at #1, and what could that mean? I would probably be more invested with that.
Well, you'd be able to read Spider-Man again.
Maybe, but they might age him to like a 12-year-old. I don't know, but And because of, the whole One More Day thing and how that, how my reaction to that, I could understand when
Spider-Man's
this was
Asian now? What?
I could understand the initial reaction to some people really getting up in arms before we'd even heard, all the details. And, I think when they initially announced it, it had a feeling of they were going to try some new things. They were going to really attempt to create a bold direction for the DC universe. And always when you hear, older people talking about making things young and hip, that does raise a couple red flags, which I think in some areas were validated, as we'll get into probably.
Yeah.
And, looking at just what we've had announced so far, I think that there are some places where I see them doing some interesting things, and there's definitely some books I'm interested in checking out. But I also see a lot of areas where it seems that they're not being as forward-thinking or as embracing of being new and kind of just relying on old standbys or looking to the past instead of really trying to do something wholly progressive.
Hey! Liefeld drew feet. Okay, that's got to be a plus. That's got to be a bonus, right?
That's valid. That's a valid point.
Ange, what about you?
I mean, I'm like, part of me is just like, well, of course, Wonder Woman needs another relaunch, But
yeah, how many has she had in the last 10 years now?
there's 3 in the last 3 years.
Jeez.
I'm embracing it, yet wondering, okay, so what happens to certain titles, like Secret Six, Batgirl? And it's I see a Mr. Terrific title, and it's can I have Checkmate, please? How much longer is everybody else going to be reading comics? You have to think of catering, bringing in new readers.
Right, bringing in new readers, yeah.
Bring in new readers, and I think this is a good idea to do it.
Okay.
Granted, there are certain flaws to it, but
yeah,
it's a start.
As to whether or not it's actually going to bring in new readers, we shall see. But, I mean... What do we know from history with issue 1s? What do we know from history from reboots? That the first issue gets a huge bump in sales, and then by issue 2 it goes down a level, then by issue 3 it goes down a level, and then by about issue 4 or 5 you get a basic idea of how much this particular book is going to sell for the foreseeable future. And that's either going to keep going down or it's going to stay at that level. So it's probably going to take about 5 months until we actually really get to see just how much DC's market share and the amount of people buying comics is going to be affected by this whole thing. Umar, in the past, I mean, yeah, issue 1s have brought in new people, but it's also a great way for people to jump off, right?
Well, okay. Being the really old guy in the room, I remember that when I wasn't such a DC person, then came Crisis. Now, at that point, I was reading Green Lantern and Swamp Thing.
Mm-hmm.
And this kid, Alan Moore, was on Swamp Thing, and we were a little excited about it. Then Crisis came, and they rebooted it. They rebooted a lot of things. Now, a lot of things they didn't reboot. They kept Batman going with his regular issues, but it was a post-Crisis world in his issues, you could tell. But they rebooted Wonder Woman, which was pretty much successful a little while at least. They rebooted Green Lantern was rebooted, and I believe he went from D-list to A-list almost overnight.
Mm-hmm.
Then they did, what was that, Zero Hour.
Yeah.
Where they didn't really much reboot anything. They just gave everything a 0 issue and then a year 1 issue, stuff like that. They've made many attempts to try to refresh. DC is always trying to refresh its universe.
Yeah, it's always a fresh start.
Yeah, but the issues I would address is this. One of the biggest comments I've heard, being a heavy podcast listener, is the notion that somehow this rips away older stories. I really, myself, can't see how a good story, no matter what, if you've enjoyed the story, if you have that trade or that absolute or that collective edition or all those comics put together,
mm-hmm.
how is that story negated? Now, I'm not sure. DC has been. I've been hearing back and forth on whether this is a complete reboot or it's just a starting at issue number 1, but all the stories will keep continuing. Because there's frankly things that have made me jump off. Like I've jumped off Batman because I don't want 50 Batmans. I want one Batman.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Dick Grayson has to come into his own by being Batman. I've never agreed with that notion. Batman has a specific origin. I don't think Superman needs to take a walk to be refreshing. I still don't understand how it's a good idea. Wonder Woman is like a Punisher movie. It's a simple idea. I don't know why people keep getting it wrong. I mean, come on,
Well, maybe they'll get it right with 100 bracelets.
I know, but
Shouldn't it be 100 bullets and bracelets? Since I mean, there was a bullets and bracelets amalgam back in the day,
Right.
and the whole notion is the fears that I hear. I keep hearing two fears. A, the old readers are going to die out, and there'll be no more readers. Now, here's the thing. You know how long I've been hearing that comic books are going to die in one shape or form, and as many times I've heard that Armageddon is going to take the Earth away. And you know what happens? It never happens. Now,
in 2012 hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, the sales go down, they fluctuate, the taste of readers change, and as I've pointed out numerous times throughout my short, which is becoming a long podcasting career, comic books have a lot more competition now. Once upon a time, when they were everywhere and cheap, they didn't have the kind of competition they have today.
Yeah.
But people have to give difference too. It's not comic books' fault that video games and million-channel TVs and 3D TVs and are going. I mean, remember 3 years ago we were hearing the movie business is all over. My God, what's happening to the movies? Well, last summer the movies went up again. Then they went down. Then they went up. You know, it's just like that with any medium.
Yeah.
So I personally think it's a ballsy move. And the digital thing, that's a whole discussion because I'm with the camp that says, listen, I'm with the digital thing. I understand that these days artists get paid more. I'm with that idea too. But while I don't understand all the business background of it, and while I often listen to Brian Michael Bendis insist the sales we see everywhere is not the actual sales, I will not buy a comic that is not printed for the exact same price or pay $1 more because, you know, I know you want to save the stores.
Yeah.
But I'm not paying $4 or an extra price to get the digital comic on the same day because in my mind, you're saving a lump sum on printing. This works for people who don't know how the internet works. But most of us as podcasters know exactly how this works. Once you've got that first digital copy, you can't claim... well, there's this exorbitant cost behind it. It's a cost keeping it on the website. It's not the same cost as printing.
Yeah, right. Come on, please. $4.99 for hosting. For some websites out there. I mean, what? And I'm sure it costs at least $1 or $2 or $1.50 to print things, and then you got to make profit off of that. So of course that's why they charge $2.99, $3.99 for it.
So you have to come with a price that's going to attract people. Yeah. Now, I think going digital and paper, that's a really great move. It's a move to the future. We all are feeling that sooner or later, this thing is going to become either mostly or all digital. I don't see the paper book going away. Mm-hmm. Like I said, throughout my lifetime, and in another week and a half, I'm on my last year of 40s. So I have a lifetime now. I've heard the predictions of doom and gloom are so numerous, it gives me a headache now. And the one thing I've noticed is that comic books change, comic books alter, comic fans change, some of us get old and refuse to change, but comic books have still here. I would remind people that there have been comic books before Superman and after Superman, and when was Superman first printed?
Oh, yeah, forever ago.
And there you go. I'm just saying, I don't understand the doom and gloom aspect of it. I understand a company saying, hey, listen, we've got to refresh. We've got to do something to invigorate the market. And I'm with them. I'm like, do what you can. Especially if you give me Bruce Wayne and Batman again and put Dick Grayson back in either Nightwing or back in them freaking green shorts. Either one. Get him. No more 100 Batmans. I can't take it anymore.
Well, all right. Well, Brent, rebuttal to Umar, and also let me know whether or not you think this is going to bring new eyes to DC Comics with all these number ones. like number ones do, or is the fact that there are literally 52 number ones going to stop people from buying this stuff?
Here's the problem. DC is assuming that a new launch, a new start, new number ones is going to bring people to comics, whether or not it's digital or whatever. They have any avenue they can to pretty much to go by it now. The problem is that it's not going to bring new people in. Just the comics themselves, relaunching, whatever. I mean, yeah, it might see a spike in sales. You might have people that were out for a long time come back in. But, I mean, is it going to be reflected in Diamond, which is the only sales charts we get? Probably not, because some people might go to the digital stuff, and I don't know if they're going to release that or not. But I think their real misstep here is that they're trying to go 2 steps forward, but they're getting 1 step back. And that comes with the pricing of the digital issue. The $3.99 or $2.99 cover price, day and date, when it comes down the shop, it's the same online, is a huge misstep. And I was listening to CGS today, and they were kind of chatting about it. But it's good that we kind of, we waited this long time to kind of see the solicits, and now we have some information about the prices. But what DC's doing is you're going to get it digitally, if you wish, for the same price that you could get it at the shop. I mean, it's tax-free, so it's a little bit cheaper. But, I mean, to most people, that doesn't matter. But that's not going to attract new readers. We're used to getting songs for 99 cents, or really it's $1.29 on iTunes now. But, I mean, at the same time, Amazon's selling newer songs for 69 cents.
Yep.
If you just want one hot single, you can go there and get it for about 50 cents. That's pretty damn cheap.
Entire albums for $5.
Entire albums for $5 or 99 cents in case of Lady Gaga, which melted their servers. Hell, even I bought that album for 99 cents.
So did I.
know my wife likes it, but I was like, what the hell? Why not? It's $1. So here we are getting a couple minutes worth of things. Movies are about $10, and that's 2 hours or an hour and a half. If you're watching Dark Knight, it's 2.5 hours. Watchmen, same thing. But I mean, a comic really only takes about 3 minutes to read. Not 3 minutes, 15 minutes to read. So keeping the same price point, I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to, not punch the retailers in the gut. But really, I would say if DC is actually moving towards the future, they just need to say, forget the retailers. I mean, face it, the retailers had 10 years of good comics. Over 2000 to 2010 or 11, you can pretty much say we had a good 10 years of quality comic books compared to the 90s, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So retailers had a good 10 years to do anything they could to get their sales up, bring new people in, and the same with the companies too. I'm not just pushing this on the retailers. Everybody had a good 10 years to, kind of reset the fire underneath the comic book industry, and it didn't work. So what I think these should do is go cheap on these digital things, you know what I mean? Amazon books are discounted when you buy them a Kindle edition, and they're outselling the print version.
Yep.
It should be the same thing with these digital comic books. You shouldn't have to be trying to save retailers that can't keep their business afloat because they can't figure out how to bring people into the shop.
Yeah, and I'd love to see that.
That shouldn't fall to the publisher. That should fall to the retailers, bringing people into the shop. Now, DC's doing things like this relaunch to help retailers out, but to me, it's just, you're trying to save a failing business model. We've had 10 years to figure this out with the digital revolution that we've had, and now is the time to just throw up your hands and say, you know what, guys, that's on you. You know what I mean? Because DC as a company has to keep itself going because where they make the money is, the licensing stuff, obviously. So they need to keep the publishing part of it going. So to me, they need to do what they need to do to keep themselves going and not save the retailers.
Well, and what this relaunch does for the properties and for the licensing is that you might very well be able to get more stories that are made specifically to make movies out of this number one stuff. I mean, obviously we'll see, but rebooting Superman to a younger Superman, which I'm assuming means he's probably not going to be married anymore, which means he's probably just going to be starting out or close to have just started out, like maybe say 5 years into his career or something like that, allows it to make a story for a movie a hell of a lot easier than explaining backstory and trying to, I guess, have people pick up comic books related to a movie that has a Superman that looks nothing like the one that's happening in a movie. You get what I'm saying, right? I mean, if the comic book version, like say, if the comic book version had felt more like Smallville when Smallville was happening, you might have had more people picking up the comic. Not that I wanted to see a Smallville comic book, mind you, but it's that same sort of thing with the movies. If the books feel more like the movies, like for example with the Superman Earth 1 trade, maybe you're going to get more people to buy Superman comics if it feels more like a Superman movie.
Here's the thing with DC, though. I mean, yes, they're trying to make their characters younger and stuff like that. I applaud that. I'm interested in it. It's piqued my interest more than, the past couple of years. But the thing that they need to go out farther than just the comic book medium and io9.com. And, I mean, they've gone to the USA Today, but let's face it. Who reads the USA Today? People staying in hotels like I am right now. The only time I ever read that newspaper is when I'm traveling because most Hilton hotels flip it underneath your door for free. Mm-hmm. So, of course, I was on travel when the news came out, and I saw it in USA Today. But otherwise, you probably subscribe to a local newspaper, or if you don't see it at all, and you see the online stuff on the comic book forums. But, I mean, none of the other public that doesn't read the newspaper is going to hear about this announcement or anything like that unless DC does a bigger push in September across all media platforms. Yeah. I mean, you should see advertisements on Facebook, on MTV.com, places where young people hang out,
on
Nickelodeon.com and stuff.
Dude. Seriously.
But they should do it about the digital stuff. But if they do that and it's still $2.99 or $3.99 an issue for the newest stuff that's come out, because frankly, when you go on Comixology's website, it's what came out this week. You're not going to see the issues that got cheaper over a month's time. You're going to see what came out this week. Batman #1, $2.99, whatever. That first one might come, but as the months go by, people are going to look at that and be like, you know what? I'm paying $3 for a digital thing that takes 15 minutes to read. It's just not going to withhold the new readers that they want to attract.
Right.
So a price like $1 or $1.50, I think, is more reasonable.
Yeah, especially since you can't share it with your friend unless you hand them your device.
Right.
So that's the problem. Ange, what's your take on this? I mean, for a $2.99 price point for digital, it's certainly not going to get me to buy digital any more than I have now. Because, well, for one thing, I have an iPod Touch, so it's a pain in the ass to read it on an iPod Touch, even if it is formatted for Comixology or something like that. But what is the price point that you feel is the right price point for new books out of DC?
I don't know if we're ever... I mean, like, initially, I can understand why they're doing the initial price point. I mean, I do find it to be on the bit of the ridiculous side.
Yeah.
But, I mean, in the ideal world, I'd like it to where I don't have to carry the iPad and the comic books. Mm-hmm. I'd like to carry, preferably, my handbag would be a little bit, would be so much lighter if I didn't have to carry both.
Right.
But I think it's a little impractical to ask for what price point it is. And I mean, if it was one thing, if it was actually mine, I have the file to it. But from what I understand, it's saved within the app. And if something goes wrong with the if Comixology goes under or something,
then you lose your comics.
Then you're screwed. You're SOL. And that's the one thing I don't like about it. But maybe down the line, I'll probably get a cheaper price point. I'll probably get like how it is on iTunes, the whole 99 cents and $1.29.
Yeah, but when is down the line? That's the question. Because like to go back to what Brent brought up before about how
if there was an option to where I could have a code to where I could have I buy the comic and there's something for me to get to download a copy of it for a reasonable price.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
They're doing that.
But,
they're doing that with Justice.
Yeah, but you have to spend $1 more on it or something.
Yeah, no, that's silly.
And that's just a little impractical for me, But for now, I'll keep it the way it is, and I'll support my shop. And if I want to try something out, I'll check it out on my iPad and leave it at that.
I got to tell you, go ahead, Brian.
I've heard that argument 1,000 times on message boards and stuff about what if Comixology goes under and all this stuff. If you use the Comixology app, here's how it works. And let me just, educate people for people who haven't tried it or something.
Educate us all.
School us.
Just for the benefit of everybody. You download the Comixology app, whether it be your iPod, iPad, or Android phone, pretty much. and you go through their store and you select books you want to read. For some first issues, like a lot of the Aspen stuff or Top Cow, first issues are free, or number 0 issues, half issues are free. So if you just want to see how it works, you can absolutely do that and not cost yourself anything, and just kind of see if you like reading it on whatever device you have it on. So do that. And what it does, you select Read Now or something like that, or Download. It downloads the comic to your device. Then you can open it up at any time and kind of go through the panel views if you're on a smaller device like a phone, or you can do the full page thing if you're on an iPad, or like, I don't know if the Android tablets, how those work. But once you're done, if you don't want it to take up your whole storage, you can kind of go to there's a setting in there, you can go to Manage Storage, and you can delete the comics off of your device.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because you have a registered account with Comixology, they store everything that you've bought. So you can re-download that comic book if, say, you want to read it on a whim or something like that. It'll take a few minutes if you're on data, but if you're on Wi-Fi, it's a little bit faster, but you can access that again. So you don't have to store your entire collection on whatever device you have it on.
It's just
kind
like
of like comics in the cloud. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a deal about, losing your comics if you lose your device or anything like that. Now, to me, the whole thing about Comixology going under is that if companies are going to start making the push, and pretty much anyone who's anyone with the comics industry is partnering with Comixology. Marvel has something going on with them, DC, Dark Horse, Image, Aspen, Archaea, Boom Studios, they're all on the app, pretty much. So if digital comics go under, that's when Comixology will go under, not if Comixology loses money, because obviously they're making enough and they have these high-powered partnerships. And this thing with DC now obviously is going to push them into the profit margin probably. I'm not saying they're going to become huge, but and if it moves onto an iTunes model or something like that, then the people who buy out Comixology will probably strike up a deal to say that give us your user logins, and that when you log into the news service, that whatever bought out Comixology, say it is Apple, you put in your user login, and then boom, they have a history of everything you bought when it was just Comixology.
Yeah, no, and that's usually how it goes.
Things are moving in that direction. So this whole fear attitude of, I'm going to lose it if Comixology goes under. It's just it's
but like in iTunes, it's like you have
burn your fucking house down and you lose everything. Like if you do it digital, it doesn't matter.
Wait, actually, with the magic of insurance, you could have,
Yeah, and you know what? Online has a lot of insurance too. Online has a lot of insurance too, especially when a new company buys a company that went under. A lot of the times you still wind up with your stuff these days.
I don't know. It's something that I haven't exactly embraced, and it's going to be a while before I do embrace it.
Yeah, I mean, I look around my room right now and I see all the piles of comic books, and I know that I haven't embraced it yet either. But if I did, I'd have a lot less comic books sitting in my room right now. So that would probably be a good thing for me. But I'm a freaking old bastard. What can I say?
If DC went to $1.50 for all of these books on day and date, I would. I mean, when I heard the announcement, I was like, I'm going all digital on my phone if I need be. But I'm planning on getting an iPad soon. But regardless, I'll go all digital on my phone just to support the digital initiative if it's affordable. Mm-hmm. But they're not making it affordable, so I think that's where they're going to flounder a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, you've been silent. Give me your take on what we've been talking about the past couple of minutes.
All right, I've got a bunch of things going through my head. One, about the price. I agree with the $1.50 price point. I think that's fair for digital.
Yeah.
And the thing about the day and date is that it's I like that they're going to go day and date with their books, but the problem is the whole element of them doing it the same price as the comic, because as we've learned in the years since the internet has popped up, those books are going to be on the internet basically the second that the books are sold. They're going to be on the internet for free. And if you're really trying to undercut internet piracy, which it probably isn't going to go away, and so the companies really have to deal with it as competitively as they can, you don't wait a month to drop the price. You have to go day and date with the lowest price you can go right away to try to curb that, because it's pretty much, not much of a use if they can get the book for free the day it comes out anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And as in regards to comic shops, I don't, feel that, the retailers are outdated. Because when comics used to be, found in grocery stores and convenience stores and places with a lot of foot traffic, with a lot of accessibility, easy for people to, see. And also they were, so low priced that it wasn't, something that you could, just, looked and really decided if you really wanted to buy that because they were so cheap. But because comics physically are relegated to, these comic shops that are, in obscure places, hard to find, long distances from people's, houses. And the fact that they are $2.99, even $3.99 now, which, is far outside the price of what a lot of people would probably reasonably, pay for the comics. I think retailers are having it tough, and there's events like Free Comic Book Day trying to get that business from new readers into the shop, but I don't know if they've ever, kind of seen how profitable that is in regards to, is it more new readers or established readers coming in, just to get free comics,
right?
And if those people are coming back, if there are new readers, coming, if they are coming back to get more comics.
No, so what I was saying is that with stuff like Comic Book Month, where like they get you to come back every single day or every single week to buy a new comic book, and then you're going towards something big. That's great. But then you've got on the other side comic shops that don't give a shit about Free Comic Book Day, and either under order or don't even participate at all because they don't see the point. And guess what? The reason people aren't showing up is because you don't give a shit. That you're not actually, giving people a reason to show up to your store. That's the problem. With this whole new initiative here, with this $2.99 issue ones, that's also going to be a problem. Because if the stores don't give a shit and they just treat it like any other comic book, no one is going to show up in your store to buy the comics. And that is going to be a problem. With the...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I think that goes to the companies, too, in terms of marketing.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Because, you can't have... it's good, that you want comics to be more accessible, that, with these new number ones, new readers can come off the street and, pick up the comic and, get interested in comics, because the problem with comic books largely is that they've been catering to a niche market that has become accustomed to comic books, and, they can't sustain, there's been, not enough new people coming in to sustain just catering to the niche, so they really need to expand out, to new readers, and that's a good thing to do. But you can't do that if people don't know comic books exist.
Right. Yeah.
Which is why, a big part of this, for it to be successful, is the marketing. They really need to get this in the public eye, outside of like what Brent was saying with newspapers. And, I was thinking back, I don't know if you remember this, when Secret Invasion was coming out. Mm-hmm. And Marvel did, I think it was on like ESPN or something.
Yeah, they did the like, commercial. Yeah.
Right. And, for one, commercials on TV advertising comics, great idea. I remember DC did that for the Supernatural comic book. Aired that during the Supernatural TV show when that was coming out. Mm-hmm. But, something with the Secret Invasion, I think, is a way not to do it, because you're focusing on an event, that, your comic book fans are going to know about and be interested in. But for new readers, they recognize things like Spider-Man and X-Men, not Secret Invasion.
Yeah. And
you really need to focus on like Superman and Batman, for, DC, and having them, like, it would be great if there were commercials or, on buses or, ads on Facebook, things like that, talking about Superman and Batman, these characters that the mainstream is going to be familiar with, and using that as an entry point to, this 52, number one relaunch.
Yeah.
And, unless, the marketing on this is really aggressive, we're just going to see the standard really high for the first issue, but then quickly, trickle back down.
Yep.
And, it'll be interesting, if, by doing a wide renumbering, if it's going to have a greater effect on, retaining those readers, or if we're just going to see, sales drop down back to what they were.
Yeah, and now you just reminded me of that horrible Fables commercial that aired on TV. that that told us absolutely nothing about the book and didn't give anybody a reason to pick it up any more than they would have had to begin with. But Umar, give me your take on the on just how many more people are going to wind up buying these comics because of this, and as along with that, you got 52 number ones here. How many of the number ones so far have caught your interest?
Well, to be honest with you, when I keep the news at a certain level, I didn't go look for the list or anything. Mm-hmm. And I was going to catch my interest is when the number ones come out, as I read about them on previews or whatever, and that's what's going to catch my interest. But attracting new readers, I have to agree. I for the life of me, cannot understand. For instance, you have a blockbuster like Iron Man, and no advertising. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying, where's a great place to advertise that at? Well, instead of answering these stupid trivia questions, how many legs does a four-legged chair have? Put it right there on the screen, or on a TV commercial and push it. As a caveat to that, this is a new world, I realize. But I still feel that while comic fans, the comic fanboys or fan girls now, are not responsible for advertising for comic books, I still feel that another blockade into getting new readers is this weirdly kind of elitist attitude we have towards them. If I have to hear one more podcast say, well, it's hard for a new reader to get in because there's 56 years of continuity. Well, you know what? I started reading comic books when I was like about 5. I didn't read Batman number 1.
Yep.
I didn't read Spider-Man number 1. Mm-hmm. I didn't read anything number 1. Yeah. Now, I remember there was this drive when I was young in the 70s trying to find those older comic books. But when I got into it, I jumped into the middle of a shocker story. I didn't see the first part, the issue before. Well, I was interested in, look at Spider-Man, who's this guy, Shocker, funky suit. And I kept reading after that. So the notion that a reader it's hard for them to get X-Men, there's just too much continuity. Well, frankly, I don't think a layman cares. It's like he argued with the movies. They don't care if X-Men First Class didn't have the first 4 X-Men. Was it cool? Was it fun? Did you like it? Was the artwork good? Did the story attract you? I'm wondering, how is Kirkman doing on those Walking Dead weeklies? Because I've heard a lot of non-comic book people I know who felt completely gaga over Walking Dead and were asking me, well, you got the comic? I said, no, but I know we can get it. And I pointed them to a comic book shop. And my retailer had said to me, well, these people come in, they have the Walking Dead, and I'm selling Walking Dead now. But I haven't seen the advertisement for Walking. I just understand why comic companies are either reluctant or can't. Like I said, I don't understand the business. There might be a reason that I completely don't understand why they don't push more advertising. But we need to be more open. We got to stop treating this like this is a vault that no one can open unless they're master thieves or something. It's not. Many discussions have come. How do you get new readers in? Well, given this trade and starting with this, and it's just that easy. My brother has been in comic books for 30 years. I gave him Ultimates and Ultimates, and now I can hand him a book, tell him to read it, he'll go read it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He doesn't have to know, well, wait a minute, what happened to the Avengers? Where's Scarlet? He has to know all that stuff. And really, I don't feel you have to know all that stuff. Now, if it's a comic book Preacher or Fables, of course you have to start so in the beginning.
Right.
But the regular monthlies, really, if you pick it up and you read 3 issues, you've got it.
Yep.
And I wish more of us, especially podcasters, who are getting more listeners than they think they are, would fall into that attitude. One last caveat also about the digital thing. As a person who used to have 30 boxes and thought, wow, that's cool, I have a complete of the X-Men. Now I have 150 boxes.
Yes.
I'm about to get a new TV. I'm about to upgrade my electronics. And I've already told my partner, these got to go. Half of these, first of all, we don't read most of these things. Second off, most of them are crap. They got to go. So I'm for digital because space safer. But the question I'm going to ask anyone who knows about digital is this important to what about the notion of the one thing I like about comic books is that I could collect a partner. Are we both going to have to pay $3.99 for the same book?
No.
He's doing it.
No.
Yeah, he has money. And the reason why he has money because he doesn't do stupid crap like, well, why would I pay a second time if both are buying it together?
Right.
So how do you pass the book on? And like I said, this might be an older question because we're in a new paradigm, but it's a question that's relatable to, you like it or not, whether they have to go outside the niche. First comes the niche because that's where your first money comes from.
Yeah. No, definitely. And I mean, I'm in the same situation. Chris gets her own DCBS order. I get my own DCBS order. But she doesn't read a lot of DC stuff. In fact, right now the only DC stuff that she's reading is she's picking up Flashpoint because she was reading Flash before this. And that's it. She reads My Green Lanterns. I'm sorry. Technically, she picks up Unwritten and Fables, but that's Vertigo, so I'm not even counting that. But she's not much of a DC person. She's not going to be much of a DC person after the relaunch here because that's extra money. That's not extra money that she's willing to spend. And you know what? Good for her on that. Because there are 52 issues here.
Wait,
Okay?
is there somebody who's going to actually buy all 52 issues?
You know
Actually,
there
you
are.
wanna get,
We know
actually, you wanna get
people.
technical?
We know people that are going to buy all 52 issues. Okay, I know them.
Actually,
I
they're
won't name them
53.
on this show, but I know them, and they're probably going to talk about at least 50 of them.
Raph.
Money.
Yeah, right. No.
Money.
Trust me, Brent. Raph's not that stupid. Okay, he might pick up 30 of them, maybe, but he's definitely going to pick up. He's definitely going to pick up about half of them, but I don't think it's going to be Raph. No, I mean there are people that I know in the podcasting industry that will pick up all 52 of these, at least the first issue, just to see what it's like.
And as for the money aspect of
Yeah.
Love, I remember when the $3.99 price point was announced, and once again the internet was broke and suicide attempts was made, and people were pretty much acting like people in the airplane when they listen to the guy's love story, pouring gasoline all over themselves. And then 3 months later, everything that was number one at the same sales numbers were exactly the same.
That's the funniest thing about it. When you raise the prices on something, you would think people would stop buying stuff. No, you raise the price, you keep on buying stuff, and people will buy more and more.
Yep.
Then you'll raise the price even more.
Yep.
People just don't think. And it's like,
Or the numbers will drop, but not enough where it would be significant because they're still making the same amount of money they did when they were $2.99. And that happened with a bunch of the books, specifically at Marvel. People would drop it, but it wouldn't matter because that would only be about maybe if the book was making, I'd say, if the book was getting 50,000 people, it would go down to maybe 45,000, and in the end, that evens out. They're still doing the same thing. So to them, it's like, oh, mission accomplished. We're not losing any money here. Great, fantastic. But
Yay.
talking about losing money and talking about buying or not buying, I'm gonna broach this to you here, Chris. First, what do you think about the edict out from DC that all of these creators need to have 3 issues done by August 31st, or they will be replaced?
Well, I think that, having that kind of policy is good, just because of, the tendency for their... I mean, look at what happened with David Finch's, Batman the Dark Knight.
No, I don't want to.
I mean... Okay, well, I gotta go into it. I'm sorry.
No, damn it! I had an entire episode about
fingers
that.
In your ear and just go la 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 while I'm doing it. But
okay.
I mean, to get David Finch from Marvel was a huge coup for DC. They gave him a book. They gave him his own Batman title because they knew. I mean, you have David Finch, but it's Batman, so obviously it's going to sell.
Suddenly, he forgot how to be on time.
Yeah, but we've only gotten 2 issues or so. They started canceling issues.
Or so? The answer is yes. There have been 2 issues.
I was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt.
All right, fine.
But we've got
We've
got them canceled, and a fill-in artist, and that has fans going, well, I expected this to be David Finch's title, and now you've got this different artist, on there. What's going on? And so I think that, it's good so that, it prevents delays and everything, trying to get the ship running smoothly, I think is good. But, my question is, how far in advance, were the creators, given word about this? Is this something that has been, been known to them for months? Is this something that is only recent? As recent as we know about it, has it come out to them?
I'd say months. I'd say months because you to plan something this line wide, it has to have at least been 6 months.
Yeah, I would like to hope so.
Yeah,
I would.
Yeah.
Because I think that giving them enough lead time, to do something like that instead of just having it be like, oh, we're launching 3 months from now, and you got to get all that stuff in. Now I think, giving them enough lead time to get used to, something like that, I think it's a good initiative to, try to make everything be more timely and, everything, try to go smoothly, since they are doing this line-wide relaunch.
Right.
Is a good thing, as long as the creators were given, enough of a heads up beforehand. If not, then I think it was a good idea, but DC mismanaged it. Well, but I don't know the internal workings enough to comment on how far ahead they got it.
Yeah, I mean, neither do I. And
oh yeah, sure.
I mean, I'm quite frankly still hoping that a certain friendly, chubby black man, Mr. Jamal Igle, winds up on one of these books by the time everything's been announced, because he is one of the fastest men in comic books, and he draws like a motherfucker. So I really want him to be included in here, but I'll save the rest of my comments on that for later on. Brent, one of the guys that immediately I think of when I think of this August 31st edict is Jim Lee himself. And I mean, apparently he's been working on Justice League for a year now, so that's great. That means that he's definitely going to get at least 3 or 4 issues before he falls behind. But, like, how many of these 52 issues do you think is going to have a different creative change, a creative team by, say, issue 4 or 5 if this edict keeps running?
Where's my fucking Batman, asshole?
Yeah,
it's coming out, isn't it?
Not anymore, apparently. Fuck.
Yeah, Batman Inc. is not going to happen until at least January. And
like you weren't expecting that to happen?
No, I wasn't.
No. I'm talking the Jim Lee book.
Oh, the Jim Lee book. Oh, yeah.
Fucking Miller.
Oh, yeah. You want that? You want that?
Yeah.
Tough
Sorry.
shit. Tough shit.
You're
You're
shit
the
out of
one.
luck.
You're the one. Congratulations.
I know I'm the one, but yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I mean, hopefully his involvement with the MMO is done now that it's launched and just kind of running itself, and he can kind of focus on his art. Hopefully. God praise.
Well, I mean, both of them, Johns and Lee, they both have other duties. I mean, they're not just...
Well, I think over the past year, Johns, I think he's proven with like the Green Lantern stuff's been pretty timely. Flash, I don't know if that was Johns or Manapul, because Manapul was filming his Beast Creatures TV show while drawing the first couple issues, and Johns took on that new role.
Yeah.
But I mean, Johns did Brightest Day, and Brightest Day came out every other week without a hitch, him and Tomasi. So, I'll give credit to the man. He probably knows how to manage his schedule by now with his new duty.
I would hope so. I would certainly hope so.
And it seems like he's only doing 2 titles. He's doing Aquaman, or 3. Green Lantern, Aquaman, and Justice League. So if he's doing that and the co-publisher duties, he should be okay.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, that's the whole reason he seems to have dropped Flash is because of picking up JLA. And Flash is interesting because you're handing it over to Francis Manapul, which does actually make me wonder how much of a hand Francis Manapul had in what was going on in Flash to begin with. That it's possible that he might have been doing more behind the scenes that maybe even we realized to get him ready for this.
Yeah, well, the thing with the Flash for me was like Johns came on it and he said, yeah, I'm doing a lot of world building and, we're building up this great Flash storyline on that like we did Green Lantern, and it turned out to just be kind of some bullshit. Because, I mean, Flashpoint isn't over, but to me, it's not a great Flash story with, the return of some awesome villain and stuff like that. So Flash, I'm kind of interested to see where Manapul takes it. And hopefully it's, better than John's kind of had it meandering that last story arc there with the build-up to Flashpoint. It was like, why don't we just get on with it? But, I think there's a reason Ethan Van Sciver is not drawing a book and just writing it. He's proven he can't do monthly or bi-monthly or, whatever.
Do you see how many times he's on Facebook?
Wait, say again?
Do you see how many times Ethan Van Sciver's on Facebook, like, posting, like, random songs of him singing? I mean, granted, they're the funniest thing ever, but...
Yeah, he knows what his priorities are. He really does.
No.
So, I mean, but Ethan's been working on this, like, since Flash Rebirth is over, I think.
Well, and this...
He kept talking about he's working on the thing with him and Gale, him and Gale. And now we know what it is. That was over a year ago.
No, we don't, Brent. No, we don't. There's one more. Gail herself posted on Twitter saying, this is one of 2 projects I'm doing with Ethan.
Well,
so there probably is something.
I love the man's art.
Yeah, no, there probably is something that he's drawing with Gail, and I'm saying it now that it's probably Plastic Man.
Yeah, I've been talking about that for years.
Yeah.
And, the relaunch would be a good time to do it.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, even if it's just a miniseries, now would be the time to get it out there. But you bring up a good point, Brent, and it's something that I'm going to ask everybody here. Which of the confirmed titles, because I know that there's a Bleeding Cool list out there with, possibilities, but nothing's been confirmed in the Superman world except for Scott Lobdell writing Superboy and every other title.
Woohoo!
Yes. I'm very happy to see Scott Lobdell back. I liked him back in the 90s. I think he got a bum rap. Both him and Nicieza kept the X titles running for a while, and they did a damn good job. Nicieza's Red Robin is fantastic, so I certainly hope that he gets something good out of this, new relaunch here. But we'll see, because Nicieza, he's attached to Legion Lost. That's it.
The latter I love. The former, not so much.
Okay, all right. Well,
but
to each their own.
But to each 90s fanboy.
Right, exactly. But no. What I was going to ask though is which of these new titles has your eye, and I'm specifically talking new here. Okay, because I'm going to cut Green Lantern out of it entirely because Green Lantern literally looks like it's just going to be a continuation of what was going on before, only with number ones. Because, I mean, you've got Green Lantern Corps, Green Lantern and the New Guardians, and Red Lanterns coming out of this, and that's all stuff that we could have expected. So the Green Lantern universe seems to be off in its own little bubble or whatever. But starting with...
I think that's a point to talk about is, the fact that they're sticking by their, standbys like expanding the Green Lantern line, since that's been really successful.
Yeah.
Like 12 titles are Batman titles, which has always been, a moneymaker for them. And do you think that...
Now that you just said it, I'm laughing. 12 of the 52 are Batman.
Right. So do you think that, this is, a good... I mean, financially it makes sense, doing this relaunch to stick with what sells for you. Mm-hmm. But do you think, 12 Batman titles, 4 Green Lantern titles, that's 16 of the 52 right there. Do you think that's... We don't know how many Superman, titles are going to...
There's going to be at least three, possibly 4.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So do you guys think that is, a good thing for the relaunch to have so many? Because they are, and we'll get into this when, we're doing the title rundown like you're talking about, but do you think that, even though they are, doing some more obscure titles, do you think that it's still good that they have so many, Batman titles, for example, coming out?
I'll put it this way. They got to sell something.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that these companies are able to put out their fringe titles is by putting out titles that people will buy. And looking at the list of Bat titles, I'd say you're guaranteed a hit with Batman #1 because that is the title, Batman.
Sure,
that's it. So even though it's got Scott Snyder, who not that many people are going to be familiar with. Even though I love
that man.
Oh no, he's really damn good. I'll agree with that. It's just he's not one of the names that immediately Scott Snyder, I know him, he's great. That every single comic book fan is going to say. It's still Batman #1. People are going to pick that up. Detective Comics #1. Probably going to get a decent amount of people picking that up too, even if it is written and drawn by Tony Daniel.
I'm so dropping that book when he jumps on it. I'm so dropping that book.
Brent,
like there's nobody's business.
I like his art. I'm hit and miss on his writing. And Brent, I mean, you know that already with me, but
yeah. I bet that Batman outsells Detective Comics.
Oh, totally. Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it has been for the past 10 years, and with the renumbering and stuff, Batman's going to be the number one Batman title. The same thing with Superman.
No question. No question. You know what's going to do gangbusters in this? And I'm calling it right now. The hit in all of this is going to be Batgirl number one. Batgirl number one by Gail Simone and Adrian Saif is going to do better than anybody else is expecting. Because
you don't think Birds of Prey would be up there?
No, I don't. No, sadly, no. Because with the reorg they're doing, Birds of Prey's got a completely different premise, and only about two of the members that we're used to in it, and it's not being written by the person that brought most people to Birds of Prey to begin with. So I'm not expecting. Birds
you don't
of Prey
think
to do
those
that
names
well.
would bring? You don't think Dwayne Straczynski and Jesus Eyes would draw a crowd?
You're going to get
not compared to Barbara Gordon being Batgirl again.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying here. I mean, Dwayne is great, and he's got his book crowd that'll definitely pick it up. I mean, I loved his Cable when he was writing it over at Marvel, and I think he'll do a good job. It's just I don't think there are as many people that are going to be drawn to a Birds of Prey book. I'm talking inside the world of comic books and outside the world of comic books as there would be to a Batgirl with Barbara Gordon in it. And I'm saying that as a person who prefers Oracle to Batgirl. I'm still thinking Batgirl number one is going to sell like gangbusters. Because this is the one that you're going to be able to put in the press as well. Because this has got some controversy around it. You know, we don't know how it's going to turn out, obviously, but you've got a formerly crippled character who is now going to be walking in one way or another. And that's something that you could definitely put out there into the press if you really wanted to.
It could be like the Titanic.
Ouch.
You'll the end. You just want to watch the journey. So she could be Batgirl for like 100 issues. For every, like, they do 2 panels like Simon used to do with Thor, with Joker slowly walking to her house.
Yeah.
But
just eventually she's going to wind up crippled again. That's what you're saying?
but here's the title there is a title I'm excited for, and it's a lesson to DC. And I don't know why they never learn it.
Mm-hmm.
And being old enough to see them have done it 100 times, I don't get. I get the mix-up. I don't get. Now here's the thing: the Avengers work when you don't use the most popular characters. And Avengers had a great deal of success of actually bringing all of the Marvel's popular characters into it.
Mm-hmm.
You get mixed up the Avengers. Justice League, it is, like it or not, and I'll get hate for this. It's Batman, Superman, Aquaman, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, and then whoever else in the background.
Mm.
Every time they do the Who Am I's, they have trouble with the sales, even though I'm still trying to explain how Brad Meltzer stuff sold. But still, it must be a decoded thing. But still, but when they bring back the core, it sells. And they bring back the core, they keep them for a long while, and then they go off into these weird tangents. Hopefully, you don't do another urban group, but still, and doesn't it sells for a second, if at all, and it drops, and they have to bring the core back again. And every time they bring back the core, it's a successful book, and it's a steadily successful book.
Yeah,
which is why I don't understand why they keep taking the core out.
You know why? Because they get in their head that these characters are doing their own things in their own book, meaning that we can't have them in a team book at the same time. But look at the Avengers as the perfect example, because Captain America was doing his own thing in his own book, was still in the Avengers. Iron Man was doing his own thing in his own book, still in the Avengers. Thor doing his own thing in his own book, still in the Avengers. You get the point.
Wolverine doing his own thing in 50 books. He's in the Avengers.
51, actually. He just got a new one.
Missed that one.
Yeah, but that has always been the difference between Marvel and DC when it comes to their team books. For some reason, DC has had it in their head that if their characters are busy in their own book, they cannot be in the Justice League at the same time. When in Marvel, you could have characters in space in one book and on Earth in the other, and nobody gives a shit because you're still reading a good story. So I think what this is a good time with this issue 1 for that to no longer be the case. For them to just stick with them.
DC shouldn't be so desperate for continuity, and I'm glad they tried, and I think they did a fairly good job.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not looking for, or they could, they could just steal from Marvel. I mean, like, it's not like, Marvel doesn't steal from DC. It's not like they did a book where, like, they have all these different colored hammers. Forget, but still. What they do is, it's very simple. Marvel used to do it very simply. Captain America, everybody be together, even though they're no book. In one little panel, you hear Iron Man saying, okay, we're going to save the world from Thanos, but I got to get back to my company being taken over by Stain. And that's it. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Get done.
Yep.
And you can go on and save the world from Thanos or that really awful time villain they keep shoving down our throats that never worked. Kang, Lord have mercy, a dumb villain. But still, you can still keep doing that. You don't have to worry so much about it. And while I know that the hardcore fanboys have this continuity thing, which is a weird dichotomy because at the same time the hardcore fanboys are screaming about continuity, they keep screaming about a single issue done in once.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
I understand how that works, but like I said, I don't think it matters. I didn't care when I was reading Morrison and Porter's and whoever took over the books, Justice League, that Batman was doing 50 of the things in the book.
No, I didn't care.
I got the core heroes.
Yeah.
They were cool because they were together, and, that's what I cared about.
Well, and I got the answer to your question, Umar, and in a way to some of the other questions that have been brought up in this episode. Fanboys are never happy. No, I won't even say we because I don't consider myself a fanboy. The hardcore fanboys are never happy. They can get what they want, and they'll find a flaw. They can say, hey, we need more single issues. We need more one-and-dones. And then when there's 5 one-and-dones, they're like, well, where's the story? So then they go back to the story, and they ask, where are the one-and-dones? These are people that cannot make up their minds because they've been reading so goddamn long that they don't even know what their mind is.
That's true, because Obscure Hero Death is my favorite one. I can't believe you killed him, but you didn't buy his book.
Thank you.
Yeah, Blue Beetle, how could you? You didn't, Hawkeye, you didn't buy his book. Didn't Hawkeye just have a book that canceled? Because why did it get canceled? Because no one bought it. I thought y'all loved him.
Uh-huh.
I bought Blue Beetle.
Right on.
Every issue.
Yep. Yeah, and Jaime's not dead. Jaime's not dead. That's good. That's good. I don't care if it's a spoiler. I saw it. He's alive. Yay.
Woo-hoo.
But what? Victory. I didn't get to that issue. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Well,
I also saw the Blue Beetles, and I was upset. But I wasn't upset they canceled the book. I was upset it wasn't getting the sale. And this was the time when the Blue Beetle was coming out in the 90s, when everything was selling 1 million copies. Like, well, didn't Blue Beetle get a taste of that? I was having fun with Ted. But I didn't care that he died. I thought it was a dramatic point. I thought that every once in a while you should point out that non-powered people who fight amongst these almost gods, if they get shot, they get wounded. You should point it out every once in a while.
Yeah.
So, like I said, you're right. It's a weird thing about the non-happiness of fanboys. I've always wanted to get together with a panel of the leaders of podcasts or have a debate sometime about that non-happiness, because that non-happiness also leads to some of the biggest BS I hear about the 90s I've ever heard.
Yeah.
The other thing that I don't want to get on now, that piracy thing, which I know I will piss everybody off on my opinion on piracy. Yeah. Because I still want, if the digital thing worry is piracy, and I say this to the digital thing, and I especially like to say it to Brian Michael Bender's face, and I'm going to kind of say it to him. I want you to quantify your numbers. I want you to prove in hardcore numbers this is interfering with your sales. Because you know what I think is interfering with your sales? I think what's interfering with your sales is the fact that you're not getting new readers and people are not buying the same amount of books that they used to buy. Most pirates are pirating books that are 30 years old. They already own them. I don't see them on the stands anymore. So I know there are new books coming out there now, but really, I just don't. I can't see it's quantifiable, especially since in one breath the companies will say, well, we can't count it. Another breath, they'll say, it's interfering with our numbers. Well, which, if you can't count it, how do you know it's interfering? I mean, I know we all have an American public education system, but, you know, math is in there.
Barely, but it is.
You know, another thing about the price point, before people get squeamish, it's only selling. I'm like, you take your $3.99 book, and that sold 60,000 issues. Which, yeah, okay, it's not a million anymore. Now times $3.99 by 6,000. That is pocket change.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So then I would need to know, well, how much is this per day costing you guys?
and hey, at least we know now, 8 years from now, the hold the line at $2.99 is still going to be in effect, right? Smallville finale.
Oh, don't remind me of that. Which day? The topic. Don't even give me.
All right. Well, I'm instead I'm gonna ask Brent to answer Chris's question real quick, and then we'll get on to what I was asking before. How many of these Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, yada 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 issues are you going to be picking up? Because it is kind of weird to have 4 different Green Lantern books and like 800, it feels like, Batman books. You know, like how many of these actually catch your interest, and is it anything past the typical Batman detective yada yada?
Yeah. Let me see. Batman, I will be getting Batman Detective, probably. I like Tony Daniel. I'm excited about some new Greg Capullo stuff. Batman and Robin, I'll be getting. Batman the Dark Knight, I'll probably pass. I'm sorry, dude, but you can't even get out 3 issues of your book in a year. Fuck off, David Finch. I'm sorry. Go back to Marvel and fuck up their books. Don't fuck up my Batman. I'll get Nightwing just because he looks like a badass now. And, let's see. The girls of the Batman universe, I could give a shit.
Really?
I'll buy Batwoman and trade if I want. Batgirl, I don't give a shit. Catwoman, don't give a shit. Birds of Prey, fuck her.
What?
Not interested.
Hater.
I'm not interested.
Hater.
I'm not interested.
Hater.
He's allowed.
I've never been interested in Catwoman. I've never been interested in Birds of Prey. I've never been interested in Batgirl.
Yeah,
ever?
and that's
Batgirl
true.
Ever?
No, and I know that's true, sadly, because I've tried.
The 4 years we've been doing this,
yeah.
I have never been interested in those titles.
I'm
know. Sorry.
I know. It pisses me off, but I know it ain't gonna. I know it ain't gonna change. And by the way, yeah, Comic Timing is 5 years old now, and I didn't even say anything about it. What? but yeah. So all right. So you're picking up those at least. What about Green Lantern?
Green Lantern. You know what? I might just get all those. I don't know.
Including the Red Lantern book?
I'm buying 3. What's one more?
And thank you, DCBS.
You know, if they put a girl Green Lantern on the team, I'm sure you can't call me a hater. Whatever. I'm buying Wonder Woman. That looks really interesting.
Yeah, well, that's a
yay for you.
That's an interesting. That's actually more than interesting. The creative team on that looks like it's going to be really, really interesting.
Which one, Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Well, you want to do some quick hits on these teams?
Yeah. Well, hold on. Let me bring DeFixer back because he went by.
Here's hoping.
He might not want to know.
Here's hoping that this will be probably the last relaunch of it.
Of what, Wonder Woman? Good luck with that.
Here's hoping it works out this time.
Yeah. Good luck.
It'll
with that.
never end.
Cross your fingers.
Cross your fingers. All right. Well, yeah. Let's go into that question that I asked before here now. Beginning with Ange, give me some of the standouts for these issues that have been released. Because I mean, if we go through all of them, then we'll be here for another 4 hours. But give me some standouts from the number ones that you're really looking forward to.
Well, of course, Wonder Woman. Besides Wonder Woman, it's Batman, of course, and Scott Snyder, I trust. Mm-hmm. Actually want to get Birds of Prey because I love Jesus Size art. Yay. Mm-hmm. Because I love Judd Winnick, Catwoman.
Okay.
Along with Batwing. Of course, Swamp Thing.
Batwing's probably the biggest surprise of all this, and not to say that I don't think he deserves a title, but this is a character that nobody knows really outside of the one time that he showed up, and this is nice to see some diversity there in the line.
And then the ones that to round them out, looking forward to, because I love Josh Fialkov's work. I love his work. I'm looking forward to iVampire, and I love me some Sami Baziri art in Voodoo.
Yeah, and that, a Wildstorm title, I might add.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that means that the rumor that Grifter #1 is going to be hitting might very well be true. And I'm still torn on how I feel about Wildstorm integrating entirely into the DCU. That's going to take some getting used to on my part.
Well, at least they're including it and not. I mean, I'd be a little more taken aback if they integrated Vertigo stuff, but they kind of are. But if they
kind of are with Swamp Thing and John Constantine and.
But technically, they weren't. Swamp Thing wasn't exactly Vertigo to begin with. From the beginning.
Not to begin with, yeah, but that was the case with Constantine and Zatanna had a Vertigo book for a while. It's just all these characters were probably more well known as Vertigo than they were as original DC titles. Give me that at least.
I mean, yeah. I mean, at least with Wildstorm now, it's like it's not the whole wondering what are they going to do with it, or whatever happened to those books. Now it's like, oh, we're seeing them here, yay!
Okay, yeah, no, I hear you.
I just have a comment on Justice League Dark. When you guys were talking about it, I was like, why did they call it why didn't they just call it Shadow Pact? Oh wait, that didn't sell.
Yeah, no, and that's exactly what they're doing. Put Justice League in the title, maybe it'll sell better.
Is it bad that I thought that was like a porn movie waiting to happen?
They've already made that porn movie.
Ooh, no. Here's the best part. When it gets canceled, call the arc Justice League Turn Off the Dark. Thank you, good night. I do weddings and bar mitzvahs.
How many people we hurt in the making of this book?
Good question. Ask Peter Milligan. Umar, go.
I find this list. How does everyone get this list of these books?
Hold up.
Okay.
I'll shoot it to you in the chat window right here.
And can someone answer the question? Where the hell is my Batwoman?
Batwoman is announced. Batwoman is happening. Batwoman is one of the books. It has been official. It has.
Here's hoping it actually comes out
because they've had forever.
Yeah. And they probably had to change the plot 3 times because then they were probably told, yeah, hey, can you work that into the new DCU? That'd be great. Thanks.
Well, James Williams is on it. I'm there.
No, I agree. Well, did you open up the list?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. No question?
Wait. There's some that haven't been announced yet. Calm down. Don't.
So far, we've got, I think, 38 confirmed. And on the Bleeding Cool list, there's a bunch that are rumored but haven't been officially announced yet. I'll tell you
Red Hood and the Outlaws is confirmed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Red Hood and the Outlaws was confirmed. I am looking forward to Red Hood and the Outlaws, actually. I am going to pick that up because I am a sucker. But I actually kind of just want to see what Arsenal with 2 Arms is like again because I've forgotten.
Now, one thing that excites me completely is Catwoman. Ever since she launched her whole book, I have thought they have elevated this character so well. She has become so rich, ambiguous, being a hero villain is great. I don't understand what out sales. So more Catwoman. I'm sorry I have to lose Gotham City Sirens because I've been enjoying the hell out of that book.
Mm-hmm.
But more Catwoman is good for me. Birds of Prey, of course. And I'm interested in seeing where they go with Swamp Thing because, unfortunately, while it went Vertigo, I remember when it was DC, and I liked them in DC.
All right. Hey, dude, I'm sure you're far from the only one. Well, and people have pointed out, and I do sort of agree with this whole relaunch thing is sort of like, hey, remember all those things that Alan Moore brought in? Yeah, they're gone now.
Well, it doesn't matter as long as he's in the DCU. Now, the only thing that's confusing me, Batman the Dark Knight is starting at #1.
Yes, and 2 issues have come out so far. Yes, it is stupid as all hell.
So is they going to start on issue 3 of his series? Is that what that means?
And, apparently, it's a new story.
Oh my God!
I know.
Because the first 2 issues didn't work out, apparently.
Yeah. It's sort of like what happens when like a pilot episode of a TV show airs, and people are like, "Yeah, this didn't really work. Let's retool it and make it seem like everything was like this to begin with." So that's kind of what's happening here with this story, I guess.
You know what? They could take the first issue and just change his gauntlets and change his symbol and just call it done. He's 2 issues in the can. You got 1 and 2.
How do you know that's not what they're gonna do?
They might. I wouldn't put it past them.
Oh man! And my favorite is that Batman Beyond is continuing, which is great. But it's literally
What's the new number 1?
Yeah, the same storyline, just issue number 1 again. So like even
6,
everything that's going
6,
on is going to be the same. It's just going to be issue 1 again after 6 issues. So oh well.
This is the type of thing that makes fanboys unhappy. I'm curmudgeon. Okay, you know what? Okay, maybe artists have to work harder or something. I don't know. Maybe it's that now they're getting hot wives and the hot wives on their back more. Back in the day, Byrne and the rest of them didn't have that. But excuse me, Mr. Finch, but you know when they did Crisis and they hired
George Perez,
Jimenez, J.G. Jones,
who puts 50 characters in one panel, and I literally mean if you scan a George Perez panel and blow it up, you can see the details of 50 characters.
Yeah.
Yet his stuff comes out on time most of the time. When they launched Marvels, the man painted this. And for the most part, every month I went to the shop and picked up a Marvels. I'm tired of these excuses about these late books.
Mm-hmm.
That's a mini rant.
Yeah, no, and I'm with you about 842% there, dude. I'm totally with you, which is why I'm happy to see, DC with this initiative that get it out or you're gone, and I hope they stick by that. Chris, what are some of your faves?
Well, I'm gonna get Batman Inc. when that comes out in 2012, of course.
Yes, but the fact that we have to wait till 2012 pisses me off.
I know. I'm liking these more supernatural and off the beaten path type of books they're doing.
Resurrection Man, bitches.
Yeah, I actually missed that book, but I've heard a lot of people's good things about it, in the years after, so I'm going to give that a shot.
And it's Abnett and Lanning doing it again, which is fantastic that they got him back.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Swamp Thing, I'm on board for. Heard the good things about Scott Snyder, probably going to get his Detective Run trade. And Yannick Paquette,
Oh my God, please.
Jessica Francavilla is just an awesome art team.
Yep.
Animal Man, I'm a big fan of Grant Morrison's Animal Man, so I'll probably give that a shot.
Oh, I'm definitely giving that a shot. Jeff Lemire doing Animal Man. I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm.
That just
it sounds
awesome.
like a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
Demon Knights, because I love Paul Cornell. Frankenstein, probably going to give that a shot too.
Mm-hmm.
And probably Batwing too, because I'm a sucker for Batman Inc. And Batwoman, so I'm going to probably add to the Batman overload problem. But
it's your fault.
Yeah, blame it all on me. And I have to say that I think the greatest cover out of all these is Teen Titans.
Ugh.
That cover is just amazing.
Oh.
I hate you so much.
That I didn't say I was going to buy it.
Oh,
but
God.
just the fact that is the most 90s looking thing I've ever seen, and they're talking about they want to get new readers and advertise to a younger audience, and they have the most 90s looking cover you could possibly create, like in a lab or something.
Jeez, man. And like, okay, here's let me go on to my mini rant here real quick, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Number one, if Kid Flash is Wally West, I quit. That's number one. All right? Because all of the character building you've done for Wally over the years, if all of a sudden he's about 5 years, 6 years younger than Dick Grayson, who's running around as Nightwing again, fuck it.
And didn't you prove that he's way more popular than Barry?
Yes, we have. We totally have, on more than one occasion.
And I remember the glee of the fanboys that were happy when they brought Barry back. And I was like, do you know why they took Barry away? Because he wasn't selling and he was boring.
Mm-hmm.
Wally was, even at his worst stories, was the most interesting character you've ever get. I mean, I remember in his issue number 1, he runs a heart to the hospital and says, thank you. And they're expecting, I don't need things. He says, well, I need health insurance. You've never heard that kind of dialogue come from somebody else. considering in the teen years before that he had a heart condition, you understood where he was coming from. I get retro, but I think that they took retro too far in the last 2 years.
I agree. I totally agree. And
Yep.
we can definitely thank, or not thank Jeff Johns for most of the retro.
Oh my goodness, he was mining stuff that was so obscure.
Yeah.
And I remember the masturbation over Final Crisis.
Well,
oh my God! Did you see that reference to that book that came out in 1946?
But that's the weird part of everything is that when Bendis does it, when Bendis draws from say one panel from a book and makes something of it, I don't really mind it. And maybe that's a double standard, but for some reason the way that Bendis does it is more to my liking a lot of the times. When Johns does it and he makes it like an entire arc of a book and then makes the character and tries to make him back into being like a superstar, I don't really like it that much.
There's a reason.
Yeah.
Marvel's history is more linear.
Right.
It has a clear, this came before this came before this came before this.
Mm-hmm.
They can play and experiment. It's like Bendis just did that power style thing in Avengers.
Yeah.
And he was referencing stuff that I am positive the readers didn't have any idea about. But he could reference it because you get the feeling that even though it was 100 years ago and Iron Man is still between 35 and 40.
Yeah. I know. It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Yeah, because they refused continuity for. I remember in the 70s and 80s, they used to drive me nuts.
Yep.
It's like, this is why I couldn't put DC until after Crisis. Because it was like, we're fighting. We will not do it. We're not going to do continuity. No.
Well,
then after Crisis, okay, we'll do continuity.
Well, and okay, and here's the thing with Teen Titans that's pissing me off is that great, you've got Tim Drake, mind you, Drake, not Wayne, meaning that he's definitely not adopted by Bruce anymore, so that's out the window. We don't know whether or not he's going to be still even related to the Bat family, thanks to the copy that was written for this issue. Tim Drake is forced to step out from behind his keyboard when an international organization seeks to capture or kill superpower teenagers. What am I left to think about that? Brent, what were you going to say?
I don't remember in Red Robin recently them emphasizing the fact that he's Tim Wayne. I read more stuff like Tim Drake in that book than I do Tim Wayne, I thought.
Well, he that's because he calls himself Tim Drake in his head. And a lot of the times when you even see...
Then what the fuck? Who cares?
Yeah, I know. But, dude, the main plot line of Red Robin was that he's been walking around, having to pretend that he was crippled in order to keep up the facade as Tim Wayne.
I know, I'm reading the book.
Yeah. So my main problem with it is that I don't know whether or not he's even Robin anymore. That's my main problem with it.
What bothers me is that when did we decide that Falcon's costume was cool?
No. When did we decide that Gatchaman was back in? Okay, he looks like a member of G-Force.
Yep.
I never thought Falcon's costume worked in the Marvel Universe, much less it doesn't work here.
Yeah. And by the way, I'd like to welcome Witchblade to the Teen Titans. I didn't know that they had signed a contract to get top characters.
Another thing, Donna Troy's costume has never worked. Why would we decide that making it red would make it cool?
Yeah, and
Sorry, did I hear you just say that?
And another thing. Why can't Superboy get a fucking costume?
He's got a Superman cape taped to his back.
I mean, seriously, it looks like he took a flyer that was hanging on like on a lamppost and taped it to his back, and then went and to a tattoo parlor, got some ink.
He's got a Superman barcode tattoo. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You should stay dead.
Oh, yes, you mean Jason Todd, who now has his own book, which I will be picking up, as I said.
And he's wearing a bat symbol?
Yeah. Red Hood and the Outlaws. So I guess he's back in good with the Bat family in this new universe.
Red Hood and the Outlaws? That sounds like a band that opens with ZZ Top.
Well, I like the way that people put it. It's like, yeah, hey, Outsiders wasn't selling, so let's give it a worse name.
And you gotta get a baseball cap in there, you know?
You definitely need a baseball cap. But again, I'm the sucker, and I'm going to be picking it up because I want to see what an Arsenal with two arms is like again. But
Sober.
yeah, no, that
anything else you're looking forward to, Ian?
Yes. Gee, thanks for reminding me. Yeah, I'm looking for. I am going to pick up Birds of Prey. I'm going to pick up Batgirl, and I'm going to pick up for sure Firestorm. Because that looks interesting. That's almost a complete reboot there because they're both teenagers again. So we'll see how that turns out.
Weren't they both teenagers in Brightest Day?
No, they weren't. They were both in college.
Well, which Firestorm? Are we getting the...
Yes. The answer is yes. We're getting both.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And it's written by Gail Simone and Ethan Van Sciver with Yadre Sonar art. So
Ethan Van Sciver, that goes early...
Well, Van Sciver is writing it, though. He's not drawing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I'll give Aquaman a shot because it's Johns and Rice. I mean, I might bitch about Johns, but he does know story structure. And I'll Resurrection Man. Definitely Resurrection Man is on my list. And Batwoman goes without saying because I've been waiting for that book for the past year and a half now.
Finally?
Yeah, finally.
It comes out?
Thank you. And of course, I'm going to pick up 17 issues of Hawk and Dove #1 by Sterling Gates and Rob Liefeld so I can spread it to all of my friends.
and have money for your kids when they go to college.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, because it's a #1 issue, so of course it's going to be worth millions.
And Rob Liefeld's on it.
Just imagine how much more money it would be worth if you actually had him sign it.
Yeah, it'd be worth less. All right. Yeah, you were saying, Brent?
All right, I'm looking forward to Justice League, obviously.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman looks interesting. Brian Azzarello, although he did not do a great job with Superman, so kind of ambivalent on that one.
But that was with Jim Lee, so that's different. Wait.
No.
Wait. Keep in mind, he wrote 100 Bullets, right?
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah,
true.
but
That's true.
We can,
What other great shit has he written?
we can be optimistic here now,
But since when is Wonder Woman a crime comic?
we could have 100 bracelets now.
Maybe she'll actually be like the Punisher and just kill motherfuckers. Who knows?
Yeah, there you go. Oh,
hey,
dude.
Cliff Chang's on it.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
that's true. That's true. Cliff Chang's going to definitely get me to pick it up because I love his art. Oh, and Justice League International being back is good shit.
In fairness,
my turn, motherfucker.
Yeah. Dan Jurgens, Aaron Lepresti, what?
in fairness, I do like the modern the somewhat newer version of this costume.
What the?
What the fuck did they do to boost your gold?
Yeah.
Sorry.
And if that's Donna Troy, I'm sorry, your costume still sucks.
They can never find one that works for her, I swear.
They can't. What the fuck did they do to Black Canary? That's the second one that sucks.
Oh. And I'm going to say this right now. If the rumor is true and OMAC #1 is going to be written by Dan DiDio with art by Keith Giffen...
Yeah, I'm so not buying that.
I'm going to give back 3 issues. Like, I'm somehow going to find a way to give them $-
Wow.
It's pretty spiteful.
Finish, Brent. Finish.
All right, thank you. All right, where were we? Yeah, Wonder Woman, Aquaman looks interesting. Flash, I'll probably just pick up. Why the hell not? Firestorm, I'm with you. I want to see what Ethan Van Sciver is contributing to comics now.
Mm-hmm.
Hawkman, fuck you, Phil Tan. You can't draw on Outsiders. What would make me think differently on this book?
But he's savage. He's savage now.
Yeah, no thanks. Green Arrow, J.T. Kroll's not ruling me with that. His costume looks cool, but Dan Jurgens on Green Arrow, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather see Dan Jurgens draw Justice League International than just write it.
Isn't it great that now that Smallville's over, they just gave him his Smallville outfit?
Yeah. Well, I like the Smallville outfit.
Yeah. Maybe he'll talk in a voice modulator too.
He's young and hip now. You know what I mean?
Young and hip, and yet somehow he still had Arsenal as a sidekick at some point.
And everybody's got their pop collars.
Pop collar. Pop. and everybody has pants, which is good.
Actually, I'm not bad with the pants. I like the pants.
Yeah, pants are fun. Pants are good stuff.
But I'm with you on JLI. That looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Terrific, Captain Atom. Those are things that I might look up digitally. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. DC Comics presents. I'll go digital on that.
DC
if I
Comics
get it.
presents will be great to get in dollar bins, like a year after they come out.
Yeah, so that really doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
We talked about Green Lantern. We talked about Batman. Yeah, sorry, fuck you, David Finch. I'm skipping your shit. All of the girl Batverse titles, no thank you.
You won't even try them. You won't even try them.
No. I read Batwoman. I read it in Detective. I tried Batwoman number 0, but I just don't have enough faith that it's going to be on time, even with the long lead time. I mean, I don't know. I just want to try something different, but none of the different stuff wants to get to me.
Yeah, I'm going to pretend you didn't say any of that. Okay.
Hey! You had your time, man. She's allowed to have his.
I know. I'm just hurt with all the girl hate. That's all.
I know. Well, he still does read comic books with girls in them. He just doesn't like the Bat books.
I just don't. Honestly, you can go back in the past 5 years. I've never been interested in reading any of those.
Yeah.
Well,
you did, however.
Number 1.
Yeah, Birds of Prey number 1.
Birds of Prey number 1. Yeah. I liked it. I gave it a good review. Go listen to that review corner.
Yes,
but
you did.
I said, however, it wasn't enough to get me to keep going on this series because the concept just does not interest me. I don't know why. It just doesn't.
It's fine.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's perfectly
Continue.
fine.
I watched the TV show because that had hot live women. I don't care about comically hot drawn women.
And how long did that last?
About 3 minutes.
You could watch it with the sound down.
It's true. You totally could.
The girl who played Batman's daughter, is hot. Ashley Scott, I want to see her in more stuff.
Yeah. Oh, what do you think of Nightwing's new outfit, by the way?
I'm digging it. He looks like a badass motherfucker.
Yeah. In fact, he kind of looks like Terry McGinnis.
But you know what? He took the Joel Schumacher outfit.
Yes, he did.
Ooh.
He did. It's the red thing. It's got the little nipple, or not the nipples, the little beak on the
nipples.
Top. But actually, I like that better than his old one. Yeah. Honestly.
What nipples?
And I like that he's got the arm spikes or whatever you call them. You know, it looks unified with the rest of the Bat team. So I'm digging that.
It's certainly better than Robin's outfit.
Better than the pouches on his arms. Yeah. Honestly.
Oh,
Batman and Leviathan, when that comes out, Chris Burnham, I'm digging his art. I was like, why didn't they put him on Batman Inc. to begin with? He's a revelation to me. Let's see, this dark stuff, Swamp Thing. I never read the Alan Moore stuff, so I don't know if I'm going to get that. Justice League Dark.
Get Animal Man.
Never liked Shadow Pact. So
get Animal Man. If you're going to get any of them, get Animal Man.
I'm actually interested in Demonites. I'm interested in the concept.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
And I like Diogenes Nieves' art. I'm liking him on Green Arrow. That's current.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of them, I don't care. I'll be getting Teen Titans, Static Shock. That might be a digital thing. I like his costume. I like Scott McDaniel. I like his new costume. That's cool. Hawk and Dove. I'm just to give a shit less about. The speculated ones, Batwing. And it might be digital, and that's probably not going to last more than 12 issues. Honestly.
Supergirl, I'm
rather than the Outlaws, I will get.
Supergirl, I'm picking up because if it's by the guys who wrote and created Kings, I'm in.
What's the concept behind Justice League Dark?
Justice League Dark is basically Shadow Pact,
but with different characters.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not like Static Shock and Black Lightning and Vixen and.
No, not that type of dark.
No, sorry.
Nice try,
though. That book I would buy, though. That book I would buy.
Yes. Dude, Black Lightning, Steel, let's see.
Right? Steel's daughter.
Dude, what if they had Justice League Medium and you had all the Hispanic and Asian characters in it? You get I Ching and all the different Latino Batmans and
bring that vibe back.
And then Justice League Chinese food takeout.
Oh, you can put the question in Justice League Medium, Renee.
Yes. And that's a good question. Speaking of Renee, as to who's going to be the question in this new universe. We'll see.
But
It doesn't look like they're doing a total reboot. So I think a lot of these people are staying the same. I mean, you have Damian as Robin.
Yeah.
In the Batman and Robin book.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only one, the title that's staying the same other than, like, the Green Lantern.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
Could we get a 1-800 number vote for Damian?
No!
No, I like him. But it's going to be interesting because it's Bruce. It's Bruce and Damian. Bruce is the only Batman now, apparently.
Yeah. What was that, Chris?
Best character of the past how many years?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I would go that far.
I thought I couldn't hate a Robin more than I hated Jason Todd when he was Robin. And then they brought Damian. They proved me wrong.
Damian and Stephanie Brown, best back and forth ever. And that's why I'm sad to see that Stephanie Brown is not just wearing a red wig and that it's going to be Barbara Gordon.
Yeah, we should probably talk about that.
Yeah, no. If there's one character I'm hoping somehow is in something else and, is not just gone, is that, well, for that matter, how about Cassandra Cain, who literally just came back?
She has an identity.
Yeah?
I think they're making a mistake with Barbara Gordon. I honestly do. I'm sorry. And I understand, and it just feels like that retro thing to me. If Oracle wasn't such a great character, and I'm like, she's a great character. Mm-hmm. I mean, she knocks the Joker's teeth out. But, well, you know what you're going to do. I want to see where it goes, because I'm not going to poo-poo it, because it might be great, because I think that DC, unlike Marvel, has some of the strongest female characters in their own books that I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. That's why I disagree earlier. It's like, I think that Birds of Prey had a slow start. When Gail Simone came aboard, it just picked up 110%. I don't understand what happened with her Wonder Woman.
That's very complicated and nothing that we will ever really get answers for.
Okay, I have a question.
So,
I have a question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Regarding Oracle, is it because Oracle is a strong character, or because Gail has been writing her so strong for all these years?
It's because Oracle is a strong character, because I liked her even when Chuck Dixon wrote her.
Yeah, you have to remember, I also come to a point where I remember when Oracle was first a mysterious character, mm-hmm. Then when they did the big reveal, and it wasn't even a big reveal, it just a come out of nowhere reveal. And ever since then, it's like I said, when Catwoman got her own book, her character elevated.
Yeah.
To a huge degree.
Right.
So I've never read a DC female character in a book or a group book. It's like Gotham City Sirens. I heard the concept. I was like, that sounds interesting. Can't work, and God help me, it works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what's really what makes Oracle for me is that she went from being just another member of the Bat family to being an integral part of the DCU as Oracle.
Definitely.
Yeah. And that's what makes her great.
Yeah, and this is Barbara Gordon just getting a bat symbol, on her chest again.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm hoping, and someone brought this up, and this could be interesting. What if she is still crippled? What if this is what was brought up in Batman The Return with Batman creating a digital avatar for Barbara to basically be patrolling the, patrolling but not actually patrolling. You know what I mean? Like actually being like the sentry, the digital sentry for the Bat family.
Right.
Or Exosuit.
It can be skeets with a projection of a hot woman in costume.
Yeah.
Or Exosuit.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like
Mantis,
I said,
but Batgirl.
I'm not going to be poo-pooing it because, like I said, it's one thing to not like the concept because you like a character where they are, but sometimes when DC does these things, it has worked 100%. It's like when Marvel revamped this its cosmic thing. I didn't think it was going to work because Marvel's cosmic thing has never worked.
And it totally did.
I was wrong.
Yep.
So it might just work, and I'm like, since I understand where they're coming from, I'm gonna give it a chance because I'll give anything a chance in the beginning, but I will miss the Oracle character because
yes.
like I said, we've had what is it, 20 years of Oracle now?
Yep. Mm-hmm. And I'm also hoping that Stephanie Brown is just not, straight up gone, that they somehow find a way to either have her in Teen Titans or be, a love interest for Tim again or something like that. Just, that the character is not gone. That somehow they find a place for her.
I want Cassandra Cain not to be gone. I love Cassandra Cain.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, well, and just like Chris said a few minutes ago, they have reintroduced her, and she's pretty much wearing her old outfit, only she's got a new name. And that's pretty damn cool. It's just, will she still be around in the reboot? That remains to be seen.
Yeah, and I think the reason this is, hitting particularly so close to a lot of people is because we have had Barbara Gordon as Oracle for 20 years.
Right.
And we have, Stephanie Brown, right now as Batgirl. Mm-hmm. And so, it's not like there is a need for a Batgirl.
Wally West is Flash.
Yes.
Enough said.
Yep.
DC, and this, take it or leave it, say it's a positive, say it's a negative, DC does not really have an alliance to a specific character the way that Marvel does. If Marvel makes a change, it usually sticks, at least for a while. With DC, it doesn't matter how long you've been there, you could very well be replaced by another version of a character.
Yep.
And that's just the way that they've always seemed to roll. But on the bright side, it looks like all of the Earth Green Lanterns are going to survive War of the Green Lanterns. Kyle's not dead. I'm doing a dance.
Well, okay. I wish they would stop making Jon Stewart a planet killer, though.
That's going to be his book, though. Jon Stewart, Planet Killer.
What do they got against Jon Stewart? He's a planet killer. He's got chicks hunting him down.
Jon Stewart, Purple Marine.
It's Black Man's Revenge, man.
Yes.
And it's weird because he's
fighting against the white guilt. Jon Stewart, Planet Killer.
That's why wouldn't it have been great if they would have made Jon Stewart a White Lantern? I had to make the joke.
You want me to get back on Green Lantern?
I had to make the joke. I had to make the White Lantern Jon Stewart joke. I had to.
It's weird because he's the most accessible Green Lantern, to the mainstream, because of Justice League.
Yeah, right. Which is why, as we've brought up on the show before, and many people have brought up, when the trailer for Green Lantern came out, most people's responses were, "Why isn't he a black guy?"
Yeah.
So yeah, I heard that same group that going to protest him is going to protest Green Lantern because they're like, well, why is the white guy in there?
Oh, seriously? That's going too far, man.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Green Lantern should be a green guy. I'm sorry, that's just it.
Yes.
That's just it.
His suit's green, no?
Yeah. It's like a white guy being Black Panther. Come on now.
I'd buy that book.
Fucking.
See, that's if Black Panther can take over Daredevil, then I want to have a white guy take over being Black Panther in Wakanda.
American Panther.
Sorry.
American Panther. What the hell?
Have it be like Russell Crowe or something. That'd be cool.
Russell Crowe.
Fighting around the world.
No, why don't you just have Ryan Reynolds play Black Panther too? He plays everybody.
I have to leave you with this because unfortunately I'm being summoned by the woman. Ian, I'm shocked you didn't make the obvious joke.
What?
Resurrection Man. They killed him and they brought him back.
Woo! Woo! For once, I didn't make the obvious joke. Are you shocked by that?
Hey, I own every issue. That's one of those comic books I get rid of.
Nice.
All right, guys. Thanks for the discussion. I have to go attend.
Pimp your stuff real quick.
I my podcast, The Fixers Hideout, with a crazy cast of characters. He's on hiatus, but we're back again, updating the site and updating and putting up the new shows.
Awesome. All right. Talk to you soon, man.
All right, guys. Peace.
All right. Let's give our final thoughts here, as we've been talking for a while, and now we're going off on crazy tangents. So, final thoughts from Mr. Johnson.
Overall, and something we didn't touch on, it kind of weighs down on my kind of feeling for it, after now that we've had, a lot of the books announced, is that there seems to be a lot of, established creators.
Yes.
Working on the books, like Scott Lobdell, bring back Rob Liefeld for Hawk and Dove, Jim Lee, Fabian Nicieza.
Judd Winnick.
And not making, any comment against, these creators or anything like that. It's just that when you had an opportunity for this relaunch, I think, to bring in, a lot of fresh creators, people who might have a new vision for certain characters, because they're playing it fast and loose with, this character is going to get changed a lot, this character is going to be changed a little.
Yeah.
They're playing very fast and loose with exactly how these characters are going to be affected.
Right.
And I really think they had, they brought in a lot more new, fresh talent to the mix.
And they had their chance, because they had guys like Brian Clevenger, for Firestorm's pitching, that they had Brian Wood pitching for Supergirl, and neither of these made the cut in the end, because I guess they decided to go with other people. I mean, yeah, sure, when you got Ethan Van Sciver and Gail Simone with Firestorm, that's great, whatever. But Supergirl could have been Brian Wood. That would have been interesting.
Right,
and they are keeping Jeff Lemire in the mix.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting, but maybe their pitches just didn't match up.
It's possible. It's very possible.
It's possible that their pitches weren't what DC was looking for.
Yeah.
I hate, it's like,
dude, I agree.
You don't know what they pitched versus what the other person pitched.
Yeah, no,
so why?
I'm not putting them down for that. I'm not putting them down for that. It's just I'm just mainly saying we had a chance to get some new blood in there, and it just didn't work out. Whatever. Let's see how these guys go. But continue.
Who's Kyle Higgins?
And we got 90s Teen Titans.
Yeah, who is Kyle?
Who's Kyle Higgins? He's writing Nightwing. Obviously, his pitch beat out somebody better.
Yeah.
What do you guys want? I don't understand.
More cowbell.
I'd rather have good books.
Yeah, dude, same here. I mean, and Chris, I mean, I assume that's what you were getting at too, right? That I mean, that even though there are some familiar names, as long as the books are good, then we'll be happy.
Oh, sure. Yeah, like I'm not, lambasting any of the creators or anything like that. I mean, we might read some of those, books that might be, we're kind of, anxious about how it's going to go, and it might turn out great. I think that's the good thing about this relaunch, is that, there's all these number ones, hopefully, most of them will be these, fresh starts, for, people to tell great stories. And that's what it all comes down to in the end, is great stories.
Yep.
And I hope that, this relaunch, rather than, because, like we talked about before with the boost of the number ones, hopefully, this relaunch is really going to be focused on giving us great stories.
Yep.
Not just trying to boost sales or anything
I certainly hope so. And congratulations at defeating Jim Seguin as the Duke of by the way.
Thank you very much.
I really should have had a counter on that one. I think there were about 12 in that sentence.
Well, there you go. We made this podcast even more DC.
Yes, we did.
Invoking that phrase.
We most definitely did. Ange, give me your final thoughts.
My final thoughts. I'm just, this is an idea I wish happened like when I started reading comics, but hey, better late than never, I guess. So. And here's hoping that everything works out and it all falls into place.
It'd be nice. That'd be very nice. I mean, and that's where I fall on this as well. I think that this is an opportunity here for DC. This is an opportunity to continue some stories, start some new ones, get some fresh eyes, and literally start out with a whole new band of comic books. It doesn't matter who's writing them, doesn't matter who's drawing them, as long as you present a jumping on point, then you're fine. And hopefully that's what they're doing here. I mean, there's going to be some people that are going to be annoyed. For instance, if Teen Titans is bad, I will be a sad panda. But I will live, and I will read another book instead. There are plenty out there. Maybe someone will enjoy it, and that's great. Maybe other people will enjoy it, and that's great. But if I don't like it, I'll buy something else. And that's what I feel about all of these number ones out of DC. If I try something and I don't like it, I can move on to something new, because worst comes to worst, I go back and I pick up 2 months' worth of back issues, and I'm immediately caught up because everything's at number 1. Isn't that super?
Hey, Ian,
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
on Comixology,
Yeah.
you and Brandon's things have finally come to fruition.
What?
They've been putting Young Justice on Comixology.
Yeah, baby.
Woo!
So if you don't like Teen Titans, you can just go buy those back issues for $2.99 a pop.
Brent, I've never
What?
liked you more than this very moment.
Actually, I think they're $1.99.
Yeah, well, either way, I have all the back issues, so I won't wind up buying them. But, yeah, thanks anyway.
But you're welcome.
Brandon can, because I think I picked up all the back issues that were left out there in the marketplace.
Wow.
Probably.
Yeah. Brent, shoot.
You know, the titles are what they are. Some of them are new and exciting. Other ones are kind of, what we expected. But frankly, I think it's a missed opportunity that DC is still standing by the retailers. And I know the retailers are saying, fuck you, Brent, God bless DC, but honestly, this is not the way that they need to be moving forward in taking this big day and date digital step.
Fuck you, Brent. God bless DC.
You have the huge things with Amazon and Google and the cloud music. Just forget the music industry. We're just going to put it out there. But nobody in the comics industry is brave enough to just say, you know what, we're going to make our comics at an attractive price point to everyone, and not just the comics retailers. Because honestly, if it was $1, you would buy all these books eventually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hell, you might even keep reading them for $1.
I would.
I would.
I'd buy and read all of them if they were $1.
Well, then, I guess they're just going to have to start doing that. That is the only answer. Right?
Right. If only such a thing could happen.
Yeah. Someday. One more time, we are sponsored by DCBS, Discount Comic Book Service. Check us out at dcbservice.com. All 52 titles in the NuDCU are 50% off if you want to purchase all of them in one shot here. $79.74 for all 52 titles. That is damn good. But if you want to go individual, Justice League International #1 is 42% off, regular price of $2.99, and you're getting it for $1.73, written by Dan Jurgens and art by Aaron Lopresti. Over in Marvel, Ultimate Comics Spider-Man #1, Brian Michael Bendis, and penciled by Sarah Pichelli. That's 50% off for $1.99, regular price of $3.99, and another $1.99 book here, 27 Second Set #1 by Charles Soule, art by Renzo Podesta, and as usual, I'm sure I got that name horribly wrong, but whatever, I said it. And this is the second series in the 27 ongoing miniseries that Charles Soule is doing. And that's yet again $1.99. Use the promo code CT8 to get an additional 8% off on your first order with DCBS, Discount Comic Book Service, dcbservice.com. If you want to read along with Comic Timing and the rest of the comic book world with the new DCU, this is the month to do it at DCBS. You're going to be saving a hell of a lot of money. Even if you don't want to get all 52, like I said, everything is still dirt cheap. One way or another, it's still 42% off every book, and it's a hell of a lot better than going into the store and paying full price. So, DCBS, dcbservice.com. Check them out. You will not regret it. All right, people. I think we're done here. So, Mr. Johnson, you want to give the web address out there?
Sure, if you go to www.dread-media.com, I think we have 3 episodes of the Dying in the Gutters podcast up so far, with the 4th should be coming in the next week or so. And, if you're into horror, please feel free to check out Dez's fantastic podcast, Dread Media. He reviews horror, films, books, music, anything related to horror. He's got it covered, and it's a great show.
Fantastic. And Ange, where can we find most of your stuff?
You can find most of my stuff. You can follow me on Twitter, at @comicbookgirl. And you could check out Invisible Jetcast over at invisiblejetcast.com. Two People Talking with Cameron Rice over at comicbooknoise.com/2pt. And as well as the Comic Roundtable and Movie Roundtable on the Cameron Rice Show. So check those out.
Very cool. And Brent, where can we find the podcasts that don't exist?
ComicTiming.net.
Right on. And for everybody out there, thanks for listening. This one's going to be pretty loose and pretty unedited here, minus like the dropouts that I'm going to have to wind up taking out. And hopefully by the time I'm back from Anime Next, this will be out. But if not, maybe by Monday or Tuesday, we shall see. By then, you might have more announcements, but at least we'll still be relevant. So I want to thank everybody for joining us here. Once again, Umar is at thefixer.com for The Fixer's Hideout. The email address for Comic Timing is comictiming@gmail.com. Don't forget to check out the forums over at comicforums.com, graciously hosted by Comic Geek Speak guys over at comicgeekspeak.com. And we're proud members of the Comics Podcast Network over at comicspodcast.com and the League of Comic Book Podcasts over at comicbooknoise.com/league. And we're at comictiming.net. But you know that already, don't you? Send us your iTunes reviews on iTunes. Graciously appreciated. So, Ange, thanks for joining us. It's been a while.
Thanks for having me.
All right. And Chris, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
And Brent, I'll see you on the East Coast next call.
Yes.
On a Skype that works.
Hopefully.
And as always, there's always time for comics. Brent? Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Dude, you there? Yo.
I'll see a big
Yeah. Hold on. Well, no, he's on the phone, so that's why. Hold on.
Yep.
You there?
Yep.
Okay. Did you hear what I just asked?
Say it again. You blacked out on me.
because the court case hasn't been finished.
We didn't actually hear you there. Say again.
A court case hasn't been finished yet.
A court case hasn't been finished yet, but you can still call him Superboy.
It wasn't that part.
Oh, Jesus.
But what happened to Mr. Steve Ruffy? I came to the
Yeah, dude, you're really cutting out.
Oh, I am?
Yeah. Yeah.
What happened to, I don't know why I'm blanking, the guy, Second Robin. Alright. Okay. Like, the man sold, in the 90s, 45% of the field was irritating him.
Umar, you sound like a Tron song right now.
No, Omar's so angry that his voice is just cracking now.
I know, dude.
He is just...
Hold on. I'm gonna hang up on you and call you back and see if that makes a difference. 1 sec.
He's full of rage.
He is. He's a red lantern. He's a rage kitty.
I think
Wait,
that's a
he's a
Wonder
Red
Girl is
Lantern?
now. She's a Red Lantern.
Is Red
Yeah.
Lantern...
That's it.
Is the Red Lantern comic have Dexter in it?
We don't know, but probably.
I think he'll
Any
get his own
better?
title.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, look. Title of the slide. First off, the man was a #1 seller in the news. Everybody was imitating him. If you go look at the Uncle in the 90s, everybody imitated him. And the man sold comics. There was a reason why the man sold. One of the regulations was a life book. Get a lot of people back.
Okay, we heard about half of that. Yeah, dude, it's not working.
Moving along. Okay.
So
I'm
close,
looking
so
forward
close.
To,
I got an idea. I'll be back.
All right, okay. I like turds. I like turds. Okay.
You were a bull fighter.
Say what?
What?
I'm a turd burglar. I steal turds.
Are you serious?
What? That's not what a turd burglar is?
You know what a turd burglar is.
He's not a guy who steals poop? It's not?
Well, Zora steals food. It's unintentional.
Yeah.
Feels like he sticks his top.
Mm-hmm.